Okay, so we're going to be taking apart all the rear brakes, rotors, wheel bearing, and put on new guys. And the first thing you want to do is you have to deal with the spring that is on these Ebrakes. They're not a separate set of shoes or anything. The handbrake is just to act on the piston. So you take out your center armrest, and then there is this single piece here that is a 13 millimeter, I think, and just slacken that off all the way, because once you're done, you're going to retension it with the new brakes on there. So the first thing we're going to do is try and take off this cap. It's covering the center nut for the bearing. I probably would take off the caliper first normally, but I had this light set up to do this video, so we're going to do this. Just get out of the way because it's going to be loud and smacking stuff around. So we got that off. Center nut is a 30. And I'm going to steal power from it is a 30. Alright, now that we got that taken care of, let's take off these calipers and brackets. I'm not keeping any of these. I remanufactured one, so I'm gonna still take off the caliper separate from the bracket because I'm going to leave this on till the very end. I have stainless steel brake lines I'm going to put on at the very end on both sides. So this is a I think it's a 13 on the pins. And the brackets are 14. Should be able to pry off the caliper. Rotor's off, and the hub came right off with it. I don't know if you can see that. They say you might need a slide hammer for these guys, but I didn't need to. Now that's a nice looking line in the back side of my rotor. Cute. Now, on the back of the wheel hub, there is a tone ring. It faces away, so it can sit underneath the ABS sensor here. On the other side, I actually had to sand down this a little bit because it was not sitting correctly on the new hub. But on the new hub, it doesn't come with the tone ring, so you have to remove it yourself. I think it's two 10 millimeter. A little screwdriver to lift it. Get the new one. And does it look like it's gonna sit flush? It does. Okay. So I don't know if this is appropriate, but on the other one, you can see how this is the original tone ring, kind of rusted. I just went over it with a file. You could use sandpaper probably, just to kind of get the corrosion that's sitting on here off. So it wasn't anything drastic, but you can at least see some bare metal there. And that's what I'm after. So the bolts that were on there originally had a little thread lock. I am going to also put a little bit of thread lock on them. So now that you have your tone ring on the back, and you can see that the gaps here are pretty good. On the other side, I had a bigger gap on one. I guess the tone ring was slightly bent, and I had to file down that section just a little bit so that it wouldn't scrape against the ABS. There we go. Just push it firm against it and try and rotate it. And if you don't get any scrapes, you're likely in good shape. So then let's put the center nut back on. Its torque is 89 foot-pounds and then 60 degrees turn. Okay, it's in. I don't know if it's appropriate, but I'm putting a little anti-seize on the inside of the cap. And we're going to reuse it. It's not really in the best shape. Probably should have used a new one, but I didn't order one. Geez, there's a hole in it? Great, there's a hole in it. I will probably be ordering a new one of these and popping this off. So it's a good thing that I just saw that in the light. Now before we put the new rotor on, we're going to tackle the Ebrake here. You can see right back here where it sits in this little rest. You have to be able to pull the Ebrake that way back towards it so that it can clear it, and then underneath you can thread the actual Ebrake line through the split hole. Now on the other side, this was seized, and I actually had to pry it with a screwdriver. I don't know if that's going to be the case here. It actually does look like it is the case here too. There we go. Come on. There we go. E-brake's free. We are going to tap off you can see that the retaining clip for the lower section with a hammer and a screwdriver. And now we're going to just move this brake caliper out of the way. I don't know what causes one e-brake cable to be more worn than the other, but it seems like my right side is more worn than my left side, so I just had to go and slacken off the center nut again because I couldn't pull this cable far enough to attach both the e-brake and get it. There we go. Take to give me that slack right there. Come on. There we go. And then just make sure you fit the cover back over it so you don't get any junk in there. So now that we've got the Ebrake out of the way, we're going to put on the rotor, which I've kind of already done. And then we're going to put on the caliper bracket here. So these were 14 millimeters. Let's see if we can get these started. We'll give those hand tightened later. So now that that's on, we can try and get the bottom one of these going. Now they came with new bolts. I'm going to use the original ones still. They seem to have a better screw head on them. Put our brakes in. Okay, they're situated. And the kicker is to make sure that the little tabs on the top don't stick out the backside here like that. They're actually supposed to be even so that when you push it down, they create like a little spring action. Come on. All right, so they're good. They're good. So we just took apart and reassembled most of it. I'm going to stop it and come back when I'm ready for tackling the final caliper bit. Alright, we're almost at the last bit of this. First things first, we're going to crack this hose up here. This is the brake line. I got a kind of a flare looking like a wrench. That's the wrong size. It's 11 and I couldn't find the appropriate size for the underneath section. So 11 on top to crack it. Probably. Sweet. Put this around here in case any fluid leaks. I'm sorry, that's like at the very top of the clip. I thought you could see it better. I cracked it and just twisted it off. Okay, it is off. And brake fluid is dripping out. Okay. Got that on. Can you still see? I guess you can kind of see it. I'm sorry. The new Goodrich lines are 17 on the bottom. And I think that there's still the 11 on the top. Okay. have to get the other brake, the other side done, so I'm gonna position. We know that this one is spent, so we're gonna position the appropriate side of it onto its thing over here. And I'm gonna put that clip in too. Okay, that's in. This guy's dripping. I need this little banjo bolt.